We lost a Swiftie due to freaking heat exhaustion and cardiac arrest. I was there. I was dying of heat exhaustion. It felt like 140 degrees. Water wasn't that accessible.
It was so hot the crowd started chanting water.
The conditions were pretty unsafe. People were really struggling.
Taylor Swift fans are not safe. Her team is putting on shows that are dangerous, leaving Taylor's fans injured and some even dead. So let's get into it. If you aren't subscribed to the Let's Get Into It podcast, then you're only getting half the tea. For longer videos, deep dives, and of course, more of me, subscribe to the Let's Get Into It podcast listed in the description below. Everybody's been talking about Taylor Swift, and her fans have been dying to see her on tour, quite literally losing their lives to go and attend the ERAS tour. I wish it was a joke, but it would be a sad one, because a fan in Brazil actually died of heat exhaustion while going and seeing Taylor Swift on stage. Now, a fan who goes by the name Ana Clara was excited to go and see Taylor at her show in Rio de Janeiro. She's only 23 years old, and I guess she felt unwell at the Rio venue. It was extremely hot out. I don't think the show should have happened at all because it was dangerously hot. When she started feeling unwell, responders arrived at the scene before she was transferred to a nearby hospital where she died. Now, Taylor has tried to make it right by inviting the family to a separate show, covering their travel expenses, and making a donation to her parents, but that won't replace their 23-year-old daughter.
We lost a Swiftie due to freaking heat exhaustion and cardiac arrest. It's been confirmed by the local news. Apparently, she passed out in the first few songs of Taylor Swift singing. I saw Taylor just handing out water herself. Well, first of all, she told everybody, the staff, to give everybody free water, and they barely was doing that. They tried, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't often. I was there. I was dying of fucking heat exhaustion. I think I was like almost passing out. It felt like 140 degrees. They didn't listen to Taylor. They didn't do their job. Two, they didn't freaking allow water bottles in there, and water wasn't that accessible once you were there. And even when you were there, people don't want to lose their seats and stuff. You know what I mean? They should have just done better.
So it seems like everyone was struggling at this show, including Taylor Swift, but Ana Clara couldn't hold on any longer. Taylor posted on her Instagram story that she was shattered, writing, "I can't believe I'm writing these words, but it's with a shattered heart that I say we lost a fan earlier tonight before my show." Which actually, is that even true? Because I guess she was performing a few songs, so maybe it wasn't before the show, it was right in the beginning of it. She writes, "I can't even tell you how devastated I am by this. There's very little information I have other than the fact that she was so incredibly beautiful and far too young." She says, "I'm not going to be able to speak about this from the stage because I feel overwhelmed by grief even when I try to talk about it. I want to say now I feel this loss deeply and my heart goes out to her family and her friends." Now, Taylor does stay true to her word, so there was a moment where she did meet with the family. It's really unfortunate that it's under this circumstances. Ana Clara's father said, "I lost my only daughter, a happy and intelligent girl. She was about to graduate in psychology next April, saving money. I have no words to express my pain. She left home to fulfill a dream and came back dead." Now, a lot of Taylor's fans who attended this show in Brazil claimed they were not given any water while waiting in line for the concert, even though the singer had postponed her show due to the extreme heat. One of the issues they ran into is that the venue would not allow others to bring their water. So then once you got into the venue, you really had to go and search for it. They weren't going to just hand you a water bottle, which became a big problem.
The rules around bringing in water, they'd said before, were pretty unbending. Anna, the young fan who tragically passed away, was reported to have felt unwell at the stadium before the concert even started. As temperatures soared to almost 100 degrees, Taylor paused her set several times to give out water, point to sections of the crowd, and urged the venue to help the people who were struggling. So venues often don't allow water because they want you to buy theirs or don't want people sneaking in alcohol. But T4F said they don't allow it because of a requirement made by public bodies. These requirements, though, changed the following day when they allowed people to enter with sealed glasses of water and food, and promised to reinforce their special action plan, which guaranteed things like free water.
Now, because there is a death in this situation, people are looking at who to blame. Like, do we blame the venue? Do we blame Taylor Swift? Do we blame her team? The police put out a statement that they were investigating the alleged crime, I guess, of the venue and the organizers for not providing this water when it's needed. And even Taylor knew how necessary this was because she saw her own fans in Brazil begging her for water because of the extreme heat. And because these people don't have their basic needs, people like Ana Clara end up going into cardiac arrest at 23 years old and appearing completely healthy. There were clips that went viral on social media of these fans in Brazil begging for water, literally chanting for it, saying, "We need water."
I work here now. Passing the water. Agua. So that people don't faint. Oh, this is open. It's open. It's open. It's open.
Everyone in that video looks like they're just trying to survive the show. One girl shared on TikTok that the conditions were pretty unsafe, writing that people were really struggling. Right in front of me, I saw a girl faint. When we tried to call for help, nobody was really able to come, which is frightening because you see that venue. It's like, you know, EMT, they can't make their way through that crowd. And imagine that girl's on the ground, a favorite song comes on, everyone starts crowding in and dancing, and then she's trampled. I've actually seen before at an outdoor venue where someone passed out and then people were just trampling over this girl, and it's so scary. Quote, throughout the show, people who were closer to the stage area actually started to leave because it was too hot for them. Hours before the show, social media videos showed fans dressed in very little clothing as they tried to hide from the deadly heat with umbrellas. Here's one fan sharing his experience and how bad it really got.
Throughout the show, people who were closer to the stage area and the diamond area actually started to leave because I guess it was just too hot for them. Like the feeling of being around that many people in this really bad heat and probably not drinking that much water, just it was so bad. 1/3 of the crowd like had taken their shirts off just because like the experience was just really hot. Then we get to Bad Blood where they do the pyrotechnics and the fire comes out on the stage. This felt so painful. Like viscerally, it was just so painful to feel.
I can't imagine those fire flames coming on. I would be screaming like hell on earth. One person wrote, it felt like 140 degrees. It's a freaking heat wave. And this is kind of giving Astro World energy. You guys remember when Travis Scott had his show, all these people were in the crowd begging for help, trying to call an EMT. There were people dying, a lot more than actually in this case, but it does remind me of the crowd like trying to inform the singer that they're not going to make it out okay.
It was so hot the crowd started chanting water and Taylor had to stop the show to get security to step. Okay, so according to Twitter, the stadium wasn't even letting them bring in water. Under that post, there was this, which is allegedly talking about the victim's private story. On the own victim's private story, allegedly, it was 35 degrees Celsius, 5 for American. Newspaper reported a heat index of 60 degrees Celsius, which is 140 degrees Fahrenheit. If this is true, that's disgusting.
This seems to be an issue with Taylor Swift's South American tour by going to Brazil and Argentina. She's going into these climates that are just really hot at this time of year. And clearly they don't have the resources to go and make sure everyone's all right. For example, there is a video circling around of Taylor Swift's PR rep, Tree Payne, seen checking in on a fan who had gone weak from the heat. The young girl was seen drinking water as security tried to help her out, and it seems like Taylor's team is just trying to keep it afloat. I mean, I don't think Taylor wants to get canceled like, you know, Travis Scott did for her fans dying at her shows. And of course, being at this show, everybody wants to see Taylor Swift. They all want to have the best seats. So there were a lot of people who were not going to leave their spot no matter what, even if it pushed their own well-being past the point to stay conscious.
I had just got back from the concert and I can tell you that the conditions were pretty unsafe. All seats and all areas in the concert were general admission. So it was first come, first serve. So that means that folks were lining up really early to trying to get the best seats if they were in these like lower bowl and upper bowl areas, but also to get the best standing areas if they were in the Pista area or the Pista Premium area right here. So this means you have people lining up really early in unbearable heat, and also people who, especially from the Pista Premium area, are not drinking water because they don't want to have to go to the bathroom and potentially lose their spot in the Pista Premium area. I was in the Pista Premium area, and I can tell you that people were really struggling. Right in front of me, I saw a girl faint. When we tried to call for help, nobody was really able to come.
So this is a lot of bad news coming out from the ERAS tour, which has done so well in the States. And it makes me wonder how Taylor's going to handle this show across seas and internationally. Here's a blind item I want to share with you guys. The family of the deceased, refuting stories of the A-list singer, reached out, shows how scared outlets are of crossing the singer by reporting the truth. Outlets post what is sent in by the singer's team and stay away from the negative for fear of losing access and retaliation. Essentially saying that these stories about these deaths are not being covered to the degree they should be because people are scared to cross Taylor Swift. They continue, in the country the death took place, it isn't a legal liability to say you are sorry. The singer doesn't care to do so and knows the outlets won't go against her. And maybe that's because Taylor decided to make an Instagram post instead of addressing this on stage. She made it very clear she did not want to talk about this story ever again. But it does make me question if that's really enough coming from Taylor Swift. But I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Have you guys ever been to a concert and found yourself in a dangerous situation? Because Coachella last year, there was a moment like right before the weekend went on, and he was like with Metro Boomin, I think. But yeah, the crowd just like crushed me, and I was really scared. I felt like I couldn't breathe. So yeah, festivals scare me. They really do. But I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys.